All right, welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Newsline tonight. And let's quickly gallop into the exciting tracks of horse racing. And across the country, the lost art of horse racing is not only reignited, it is also coming with class and display of culture. It is also as an all-embracing entertainment, and rather than the sport of the rich and aristocrats. Vintage Hamisurogo captured an epic horse racing scenario in one of his travels and says it is an experience to savor. And I agree with him.
Bidda in Niger State is an ancient city of culture and arts. It is also in the forefront of a major revival effort to re-enlist Nigeria as a global horse racing hub. In Bidda, Niger State, the horse racing tracks are born again. Bidda is continually emerging as the horse racing capital of Nigeria. There is, of course, a revival effort to see this ancient tradition of Nigeria is revived, not only in northern Nigeria where it is most popular, but also across the country. There is also an attempt to make it international. Horse racing the world over is recognized as a game of happiness and a game of peace. There were periods when Nigeria was such a beautiful home of it. Its political leaders were never far away from the racing tops. There are efforts now to make up for lost times and catch up with the international best standards.
This is what we have inherited, from our forefathers. And then globally, horse racing is now a money-making venture. And then as a country, Nigeria, we don't want to be left behind. So we are doing everything possible to ensure that we improve our breed.
The Bidda horse racing was under the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria and was an international debut with some 5 countries participating. I have my fascination with the horses. They are thoroughbreds, a product of a conscious effort to crossbreed our local species with the Argentinians and other international brands to align with the global standards and allow the country to compete globally on equal footing. A significant part of the competition is how the local community find joy and relaxation enjoying it. The people of Bidda are not strictly speaking hill dwellers, but thousands climb hills to have a good look. The competition itself was spiced by dances that could only be from Newfoundland. They never were a distraction, but a pleasant addition to a beautiful day of horses. Five cups were won in the competition. Several of the competitors put up a performance of exceptional horsemanship and competitiveness to the applause of the massive participation at the competition. The Bidda competition is called Hope Renewed First Year Democracy Derby, and it will continue in Kaduna and Kano in the coming weeks. The HONUP, Alhaji Yahya Abubakar, who is the national president of the Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria, said the major mission now is to ensure the competition is enhanced across all the southern states. And truly, many of the southern delegation to the Bidda competition pledged to introduce it full-time in their environments.
But inshallah, as vice president, one day I will organize the competition in Owerri, inshallah.
The Bidda competition is an entertaining evening of horse culture and a forward movement to see the horse tracks are back to life and abreast with the international standard, even as it opens up new business window for the country. After all, historically and culturally, Nigeria is never new to horse life.
Indeed, it is an experience to savor. But let's take you now into the heart of our tummy, and that's the kitchen and the dining tables. And from bustling city markets to quiet village stores, the demand for gari has reached unprecedented levels. Prices are soaring, availability is dwindling, and families everywhere are feeling the impact. And now here, the gari has now gone international. And how did that happen? How did we get here? What does it mean for our daily lives? Let's join Annie Daniels for this report. is a very popular market in the southwest, and this section is for gari. Oh yes, gari is our focus. The staple food, also called cassava flakes or flour, and can be consumed in various ways.
Yes, I eat gari with sugar, milk, and groundnut. I will go find iwedu. I will come leaf. I will mix some. I will use chop eba.
All my 21 respondents are attested to loving gari. This, notwithstanding, some see gari, no matter what form it is consumed, as food for the poor.
We run a restaurant. You see big men, people that we look up to, people that are well respected in the society. They come in and sit down and order for and ora soup, bitter leaf, egusi.
Even me and my oga we dey drink gari. No be say dem dey tell me I see am with my eyes koro. Everybody now na gari be better food.
You come here around, maybe 1 or 2, you see cars, they come here to eat eba.
True to their words, gari has become sought after by both the poor and the rich. Okay, let's see who is eating gari and how.
There is one we call a gari jebu. Someone jebu man. So, of course, I eat eba. I drink gari. I take it with the egusi soup or with what we call a foriro.
Oh yes, I do very well. Yes, I grew up with that. If I don't eat gari in a week, I'll die.
And in case you're not aware, gari is taking center stage at both local and international conferences on how to make it readily available for you and I. Yes, I have gari too.
Because we have the soil that is fertile, we have the land that we can use, and whether we convert all this land, all this usable land to productivity, you will realize that we will have enough to eat for ourselves.
We want to target the money, the crop that produces the money for the country. That is more appropriate. The money spinner for Nigeria should be called cassava, rather than cassava being food for the poor. And still the gari and fufu that we all depend on.
Wow, isn't that cheering for gari? I mean our gari. Sure it is.
I can't lie. Gary Eba is not my top. My top is Amala. But I can't lie. Garium sulfate to the rescue in yonder days. You know what I mean? You mix it, you add the milk, and then you add, anyway, let's go for a short break. This line will return in just a moment. All right, after a very hot plate of eba and a good soup, there's something you need, a transporter to, send it down. But wait for it. I'd like you for a moment to imagine a place where every sunrise brings the promise of fresh milk. Now you know what I'm talking about. And where bustling markets overflow with rich, creamy goodness of nono. Let's sit back and let Newsline pilot you to Bulumkutu Yanono. That's a community that has risen from its history of Maitasine adversity into a thriving hub of dairy entrepreneurship. And correspondent Zainab Adam brings us this very enterprising story.
In a typical day from morning to the late evenings before the advent of the insurgency, this is the atmosphere you see with buyers and sellers of the commodity, bargaining either to sell or buy. However, the more than a decade-long insurgency and its attendant consequences, among other factors, have forced business activity to stop around 8 p.m. It might surprise the viewer to note that bulk of the nono, known as milk, is brought to the market by Fulani milkmaids, largely from hamlets and villages in Yobe State, making the supply a never-ending activity. For decades, Bulunkutu and Nono has been known to be a joint for everyone to be in Maiduguri, with different age groups coming from all directions to buy this special yummy and creamy drink that is exotic beyond a viewer's sight. While discussing trivial issues, Nono from this spot is trusted to be the best without any mixture of any sort, thereby conveyed to other places such as Maiduguri Monday Market, Tashan Dambua and Gamboru Market for onward selling or transaction around the metropolis. Some Maiduguri residents speak on the spot and what it means to them.
3,000 people troop here to take the milk for relaxation. I usually come here to buy nono here and mix it at home for me to enjoy myself.
Some of the marketers shared with the NTA the attraction in the business.
The business is a booming one. We thank God. A bowl is sold at the rate of 6,000 naira and we buy it at the rate of 5,000 naira.
We thank God on our market. Sometimes we make good sales and sometimes we get just a little.
We usually get good milk, but during the dry season it becomes scarce and in turn affect our sales.
To Fra and Nono addicts, a day without taking it seems to be incomplete.
The nono is satisfying and it has medicinal values.
Shi fura da nono abu ne wanda yana amfani da yanayin waida na gari.
Taking Frado Nono depends on the weather. If you are feeling heat, if you take it, it will reduce the heat in your stomach.
You know what? Sugar sellers, milk sellers, and ice block sellers tap in this grace by also making their sales.
Like a proverbial northern star that is always constant, Bulunkutu and Nono is a sight that cannot escape the attention of a first-time visitor to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital.
Well, it's not just no. I had the best of Kose in Maiduguri, precisely NTA Maiduguri in one of my trips to that beautiful city. And, Maiduguri is where the spirit of celebration, of course, is alive and well. Now, while the nation honors Democracy Day sometime in May, children in that city, of course, ensure that their voices or their special day shone just as brightly. And in a unique and heartwarming twist, the children practically took over the broadcast at NTA Maiduguri Network Center, showcasing their talents and sharing their stories, now making sure that the voices were heard loud and clear. Correspondent Jamal Adamu captured the moments for Newsline.
Ngohawar Rande Kwe, Tilam Kanure, Fata Hukuma NTA.
An bayyana muhimmancin kulawa da rayuwar yara, ilimantar su da kuma ba su ingantacciyar tarbiyya.
With ease and confidence, they deliver the news, exhibiting flawless mastery of the broadcast languages of NTA Maiduguri, namely Kanuri, Hausa, and English. It was a moment to behold as the young prospective broadcaster took over the show of the day, demonstrating in the process passion and talent akin to veteran broadcasters.
Borno State Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile says
it was the same show of skills with reporters for the day, as they as well showed good level of reportorial capacity that blended well with the newscast.
The global celebration of the Children's Day is a beautiful platform for planning good future for the children. In Maiduguri, Aisha Loan Gangaren, NTA News.
And there were excitements all over as fellow students stood by to view the deliveries of their colleagues. And their broadcasting skills were not limited to the news. They equally had a good outing on a talk show, x-raying burning issues of the moment around the communities they live.
We are going to segment our program into two. The first segment is discussion of school bullying and discipline.
Transmit value, norms and beliefs from one generation to another, ensuring their continuity and stability in society.
And when it comes to cultural displays, they were equally masters of the art, as they dressed for the occasion and danced with the rhyme and rhythm of the Borno musical vibrancy.
As NTA, we have an obligation, to carry them along to make sure they make, the event memorable.
NTA Maiduguri Network Center, thank you for all you do for our children. Now, let's change the gear a bit. Wakot Limited has just launched a new revolutionary product. It hopes will be a game changer for farmers everywhere. Now, Super Dragon, a cutting-edge solution, is designed to eliminate weeds, enrich soil nutrients, and significantly cut down labor hours. Let's join Adebola Agbaje in Ishayin, Oyo State, to find out how this remarkable tool is poised to transform the way we cultivate our lands and boost productivity.
Committed to providing practical and effective solutions to challenges faced by farmers, Wakot Agrochemical and Fertilizer Limited, a member of Tropical General Investments Group, has introduced Dragon Super, an advanced herbicide to redefine weed management for farmers in Nigeria. Managing Director, Wakot Agrochemical and Fertilizer Limited, Murari Sharma, while unveiling the product in Oyo State, explained the usage of the product for effective results towards enhancing food sufficiency in the country.
Because our food increase is 1.6%, population increase is 2.7%. So there is a biggest challenge of food security. This technology of Dragon Super, it is a wonderful technology in the world. And now, after America and Germany, we brought in Nigeria. What is the specialty of this product is half dose. All molecules available in Nigeria, only this product is having half dose and result double. This is actually 1 liter. It is requires 1.5. 1.5 it means it requires 10 actually knapsack. So this 1.5 divided by 10 knapsack, 150 ml per knapsack we used to use. Very easy. So our dose is 150 ml per knapsack. So it will be almost 1.5 liter per hectare.
Across the 33 local government areas, they are gathered here. We have about 5,000 farmers as we speak to witness this. So we chose the same because it seems to be a central point for all the farmers to come around, and we launch it here.
Actually, this is more for the strategic for the country, not for us. Because what happens, it changes the life of the farmers. And as Mr. Sharma has mentioned, you require half a dose. So it basically will change the life of the farmers. It will improve their earnings. And
farmers and distributors are appreciative of the products.
Super, so it's one of their products from the Wakot. So that Dragon Super is very, very effective. People have been using it, and the report concerning it is very, very encouraging. So Dragon Super is one of the chemicals the farmer cannot be able to afford.
Some users of the product were recognized for using Dragon Super since its launch in Abuja.
It's all right. It's okay. I thought it was Super Dragon, but I'm told it's Dragon Super. But it's really a great leap towards, a more efficient and sustainable farming. Well done. Let's break out now for some commercials. Newsline will be back presently. All right. Now, nestled in the heart of Nigeria's Niger Delta region is Bayelsa State. It boasts of labyrinth of waterways, mangroves, and lush landscapes, which for centuries have provided sustenance, livelihoods, and a deep sense of identity for people within those communities. Fishing is more than just a job for Bayelsans. It's a way of life, and I know that because I lived there. They know the secrets of the tides, the rhythms of the seasons, and the patience required to coerce a catch from those waters. Correspondent Doris Akumoye, however, reports that as modernization sweeps across the Delta, the age-old tradition of fishing comes under threat. Traditional techniques passed down
readily comes to mind is a coastal state in the south-south region of Nigeria. Blessed with natural and human resources, the people historically rely majorly on fishing and farming for their livelihood. But today the story is different. As proceeds of oil production has taken large chunk of the natives who no longer engage in fishing. Fishing activities are now left with people from the northern part of the country, as investigation reveals that most of the fishermen from that part of the country are gainfully engaged in fishing.
Now some people in the fishing. Now she sabi kill fish.
Everybody when they kill fish for here, from Kebbi State come.
We dey get supply from Northerners.
Interaction with key stakeholders in the fishing business further reveals that other contributory factor to the high cost of fish in recent times is a reduction in the water flow, as the fishermen can barely have reasonable catch with the reduction of rainfall.
Because people where they go kill am for inside the sea, canoe will be reach 5,000, 10,000. Now those small boats, now 20,000, 50,000. Hook, well then they take set, then they buy them 5,000. Now it don't reach 10,000. Gary or salt, now that money then they take back. So one will go, then they carry the fish price go up.
We are selling this one, yes, 10,000 naira. But right now, because of the price of the foil, they can sell it 30 to 25,000 for us.
Fishermen go fishing, fish no day. And secondly, when they won't go, fuel no day. So no way to go fishing.
They come here. I reach the town. They feed you at the settlement community. Now I get boys like 100 boys. Then go foot boys, four boys, 2 canoe, 1 canoe, 2 boys, 1 canoe, 2 boys. I buy the net, big net. The net then they reach 100,000.
Although effort made to speak with relevant authorities was not successful, stakeholders, however, called for concerted effort to change the mindset of the inhabitants of Bayelsa State to go back to their inherited route of fishing, to further boost availability of fish, to reduce the prevailing high cost of fish. Others, however, appealed to government to appoint a seasoned farmer as Commissioner for Agriculture, with focus on bringing back the lost glory. And here in the state, we have an array of species of fish. And this one I have with me is called the electric fish, and it has spiritual implication. I am told this fish is prepared for pregnant women whose babies are not kicking well, to enable the babies perform well inside the mother's stomach. If you ask me, who will I ask?
I would there spiritual implication for fish. It's okay. Let's turn our attention now to Jigawa State in northern Nigeria, where a vibrant and culturally rich fishing festival is making waves, not just in the waters, but in the local economy as well. And correspondent Mohammed Musa Askira takes us on a journey in how this annual celebration, deeply rooted in tradition, is drawing crowds from far and near, and also infusing local economy with new energy and opportunities.
A festival held for the first time in 8 years witnessed the participation of fishermen across villages in the Hadija Emirate. These fishermen have indeed displayed their fishing talents, making big catches of the fish ranging from 0 to 100 kilograms displayed for the public view. Although some of the fishermen lament the lack of enough fish in the river, the catches they made during the fishing competition were described as impressive by others.
We are grateful to God for today. We are happy for this festival.
Organized by the Jigawa State government to foster unity and promote peace as well as unlock another economic opportunity for the participating villages, the fishing festival stakeholders say has a lot of economic benefit to the state, particularly the fishermen themselves.
We wish to even attract foreign investors and other investors from within the country to come and add value to the natural resources that we have in the waters we have here.
We are encouraging them to go into fish farming.
Governor Umar Namadi, who commends the fishermen for a job well done, assures them that the festival will be made an annual event for the state to harness the economic potential in the fishing sector of the state economy.
There is need for us as a government to see how we can improve it, how we can expand it, and then sustain it. Expanding production of fish is very, very important. It will improve our economy, it will reduce rural-urban migration, and then it will also keep our youth busy.
Winners of the various categories of the competition at the fishing festival, including the biggest fish catcher, calabash floating race, swimming, Underwater stamina and tug of war between butchers and fishermen were presented with gifts ranging from motorcycles, sewing and grinding machines, water pump, and 50,000 to 500,000 naira cash. The event attracted dignitaries and river enthusiasts across the state.
Now that is the fish that should have spiritual implication to catch it. All right. In an inspiring display of humanity, NTA Maiduguri Network Center is on the news again. It's a spearheaded initiative that came through to save the life of a little girl, Fatima, battling a suspected formidable enemy, cancer. A quick and handsome response to crowdfunding initiative by the NTA Maiduguri Center, by good-spirited donors, and the swift action by the management of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital brings hope and survival to little Fatima. Our correspondent, my Adamu, again put together the moments of agony and now hope for Fatima. And the pictures are rather unpleasant, so I humbly advise viewer discretion.
An eye already lost, an entire life in agony and under imminent threat, a poor and unenlightened family. The odds against 5-year-old Fatima are simply too many and unbearable. An earlier attempt to salvage her life at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital was aborted due to crippling financial status of her parents, who could hardly afford daily feeding for the family, let alone offset medical bills for an ailment believed to cost fortune in treatment. They abandoned the hospital and opted for alternative non-orthodox treatment. No progress was made. Her condition instead got worse. With no money and no medication option available, they were left with only hope. They took the hope and the extremely resilient patient to NTA Maiduguri Network Center to solicit for help. They were welcomed with open arms and their predicament relayed to the public. And help came almost immediately, with the first anonymous donation of 200,000 naira from a Ukraine-based Borno State indigene. With that rising light of hope, the Zonal Director NTA Network Center Maiduguri, Muhammad Abubakar, took the family to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. It became obvious Fatima is a blessed child. The Medical Advisory Committee of the teaching hospital turned out at short notice to receive her.
As a television station domiciled here in Maiduguri, with the mandate, to do everything for the general being of our host community, we immediately, embarked on action in our own way. That is by publicizing what she needed the public for her to resume, medical examination that was abundant, as we learned November last year.
We are including, we have learned so much from the corporate social responsibility part of NTA. Because if there is an organization where that is very much a trend, the NTA, either through during the news or when they broadcast special program.
The patient and the proceeds of the crowdfunding initiative of the NTA were handed over to the committee, and with dispatch, medical action began. More donations, mostly from anonymous sources, have continued to flow in, with about 500,000 naira already realized and handed over to the Medical Advisory Committee. Meanwhile, the NTA Zonal Director Muhammad Abubakar is now to Fatima the most prominent friend and member of her family. He prays and wishes Fatima survives to attain the full potential of her destiny.
It is encouraging to see that little Fatima, in spite of her, obvious predicament, is still looking cheerful and hopeful that she gets out of this, very, very strong. Let me once again use this medium to still appeal to the public to come to the rescue of little Fatima, by contributing money for her, to continue, the battle she's fighting with cancer.
This is one of the many impacts of our Newsline program, which has been instrumental in engendering collective actions that power unity and compassion. And I want to really say thank you, Maiduguri Network Center. Thank you, Major Ma Adamu, for this report. All right, let's move on now to our next story tonight, and it's another pathetic one. So you might just want to pay extra attention to the plight of 15-year-olds if you do have them. It's the harrowing tale of a 15-year-old girl, Shawa Ibrahim, who not only suffered physical and psychological abuse in the hands of her uncle, who also got her pregnant. Hassana Abubakar Kuku brings us this shocking and heartbreaking story.
May this year, around 10 o'clock on a hot sunny morning in Birnin Kebbi, a good Samaritan found Shawa fleeing from her home with a 2-year-old son. The Samaritan, after listening to her ordeal, was led to take her and her son to Sayahaya Memorial Hospital to treat the chronic leg ulcer she was battling with, as she couldn't walk well. And this is where NTA caught up with her. Narrating her ordeal, Shawa Ibrahim said she had fled from home for more than 2 weeks due to the abuse and molestation by her uncle. In fact, the father of her 2-year-old son is her uncle. The child is almost 2 years, but up to now he cannot walk. My family doesn't know my whereabouts because they don't care about me. She lost her mother a long time ago, and her father, a police officer currently in Lagos, entrusted her care to his brother, who took advantage of her. My uncle and his wives used to tie me and eat their food in my presence without giving me even small. After they finish eating, they would lose me and give me a big bowl to go and fetch water for the house. When contacted, the management of Sayahaya Memorial Hospital in Birnin Kebbi said on arrival at the facility, a team of surgeons treated the victim and commenced treatment on the affected leg free of charge.
We are trying our best. The day that she was asked to leave the facility, after we procured all the dressing materials for her, she removed the dressing done by the surgeons and ran amok along the hospital corridor with no single wrapper on her body. That was how the trending video came about. So as far as the management of my hospital is concerned, we have done our best. What is left now is the social aspect.
She is recuperating well and ready for discharge, but she doesn't want to leave the hospital for fear of her uncle's wrath. Although the case has been reported to the State Ministry of Health and Humanitarian Affairs, no action has been taken yet. So right now, Shawa is in need of help from relevant stakeholders as the hospital cannot continue to keep her.
Newsline will stay on this story. Thank you for staying on the line. Now, in solemn and somber tones, we report the untimely departure of a dedicated leader, Hajia Lami Lau, President of the National Council of Women Society, NCWS. She died in the course of duty. Her tireless efforts and unwavering commitment to uplifting women and advocating the rights leave an indelible mark on our hearts and the fabric of our society. Though she may be absent, her legacy of empowerment and resilience will continue to inspire generations to come. And even as we mourn her, let us honor her memory by revisiting one of the last events she championed with such fervor and grace.
Women from the 774 local government areas of Nigeria find their way to the Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development. Though a cancelled convention, those who are not aware may take it for an organized market square.
The biennial convention comes with exhibition. Have everything that we plant in Akwa Ibom State.
Produce the shea butter. I took it up as a challenge.
The market-like exhibition stands are quite a sight to behold, with 102 new things to learn.
We call it Kadampari clove in English. It clears dandruff and all these smells that the head has. We just put inside water small for infection and for clearing of cleansing blood and other things.
We use gele
to make this traveling bag.
I started by hawking, and to the glory of God.
Long time no see made evident with the hugs and pats on the back.
I meet so many of my friends here, my colleagues, some that we did not meet since we left secondary school. My experience here is just wonderful. Every culture, every language, every displacement is just very, very wonderful.
I am so happy that I was among the women that was able to be a part of the conference this year. It has been very inspiring and impacting, seeing great women coming to talk to us.
Women sure do know how to hype and make themselves happy with their unique slogans.
I feel excited. Anything, I'm game. Without the women, the society cannot function properly.
It's actually a biennial convention for all women groups. So of course, there are lessons to take home.
NCWS is the umbrella organization that unites all Nigerian women, irrespective of religion, politics, whatever.
Also, are recognitions and awards to those who have distinguished themselves by contributing to the development of other women.
We have women in agriculture in Niger State, and they are divided into different sectors. So at each point, these sectors will play their roles accordingly to where they belong.
When there's insurgency, women and children are the most victims. Every 16 days from November 25th, we mark the International Day of Activity Against GBV. It is a period where women are identified, sensitized, and then given equipment, empowered to have a sustainable means of income.
Not just that, ideas are also shared on forums like this.
We as a nation to invest in our women. We have been described like a country flying with one wing, and we need both wings to accelerate development.
Hajia Lami Lau's visionary leadership was evident in her organization of the groundbreaking Women's Biennial Convention that will certainly leave an indelible mark on gender empowerment. Despite her passing, her legacy thrives, fostering empowerment and unity among women globally.
When you empower a woman, yes, you accelerate progress. You empowered her family, you empowered her community, you empowered her state.
Hajia Lami Lau died during an official assignment and has since been buried. And so we end this edition of Newsline with the hope that our stories tonight will remind us of the power of resilience and the difference we can't make if we stand together. And I extend my warm appreciation to everyone who's contributed to tonight's program, especially our dedicated Newsline crew and the Maiduguri Network Center. And of course, thank you for being with us. And let's carry the spirit of determination and compassion into the week ahead. And may God of all creation grant this our one request. Good night.